Hi, and welcome back to the channel on the college process. Once again, I'm Ed from Principia Pret, and today we're going to be going over the 5 terrible essay topics you should not be using for your main essay. Now, before we start, if you are new to the channel and are looking for additional college content, please hit the subscription button down below. It will notify you when new videos do come out. As well as if you do enjoy today's video, please leave us a like. It does help the channel. As well as if you have any comments or questions throughout today's video, very simple, just put them down below in the comment section. I do answer all your comments and questions you guys leave here on the videos. As well as, once again, for this year's senior class 22-23 academic year, we are once again running the James Russell Memorial Scholarship through the organization here. So if you want to be eligible for our scholarship program, very simple, just in the description down below is a link for the James Russell Memorial Scholarship. Just watch that video, explains how we give out our scholarship here at our organization. As well as, also in the description down below is the organization's Venmo, as well as our buy us a coffee if you want to help support the channel, allowing us to keep making these college videos for you guys out there. And all that being said, let's jump right into today's video. 5 terrible essay topics you do not want to use for your main essay. And right at the top, let's start with number 1. The worst essay topic you can come up with is talking about money. And this goes in very different directions here. So I'm going to talk about all the different directions as far as not including or not talking about money and the reasons why you don't want to do so on your essay for these reasons. Right off the bat, if you're going to talk about in your essay how you went to a different country and immerse yourself in the culture and so on and so forth, that's an okay topic to kind of work off as far as the main essay. If your discussion is about how you guys spent most of your time in a 5-star hotel and occasionally you guys went into the culture and immerse yourself, or if you guys want to talk about how you guys went out on team tours and your parents spent tens of thousands of dollars, if not thousands and thousands of dollars on these team tours, and that you would talk about during the day we would be bused to a location where we would help and organize or clean up the community or help them build structures and so on and so forth, and then at the end of every day you'd go back to your luxury hotel. This is also not a good essay topic because it does not provide what you think it provides. In your mind you might be thinking, well, we're immersing ourselves in different cultures, different environments, different people, we're worldly, let's call it. That's not the way the essays typically come out, by the way. Most of the time the essays come out as you being somewhat privileged in the sense that you get to spend your time, most of your time, at a really expensive hotel, and then occasionally a few hours during the day you go out and maybe do some shoveling, or you move some wood, or you help put a roof on a building, but then you basically leave that environment which you maybe spent 3, 4, 5 hours at, and you go spend the rest of the time basically interacting with your peers at a really expensive resort. That's not what they want to see here. They don't want to see essays about vacations, let's put it that way. This, by the way, is especially true if your resume is very light in the world of community service on the resume. So if on your resume you have, let's say, 5, 10 hours of community service, and your entire essay is about giving back, and your essay about giving back is how you went to this other country and helped immerse yourself in the culture, it's not going to make any sense. If you're telling me in your essay you love to give back and help those less fortunate, and in 4 years of high school you spent 10, 15, 20 hours of the entire 4 years of high school, and the entire essay is about this cultural experience, which you only spent a few hours doing, it does not read well at all, to be honest with you. Now, because your family is well off is not a bad thing. That's not what I'm saying here. But it should not be part of an essay topic or the main essay specifically, because this is what you're telling them about yourself. You don't want to just tell them, I come from money, or I have privilege, or I have opportunities that others don't. To give you the perspective, a typical admissions officer makes between $40,000 and $50,000 a year. So you talking about you taking a very expensive vacation, or you going to a very expensive place to help out, looks and reads like you're using your money to basically try to influence them to think you're doing community service. In addition to that, another aspect of money that does not look good is if in the essay you're talking about wanting to make a lot of money. And of course, once again, you might be thinking, well, if we talk about wanting to make a lot of money and be successful, we might come off as being determined or we're a hardworking individual. But in reality, what it basically shows is greed, money hungry, in most cases even worse. And in some cases, it makes you come off as apathetic towards anyone who doesn't have money. So money is a very difficult, very touchy subject for a lot of people. And bringing it into your main essay in many cases does not work, and I would stay away from anything to do with money in your main essay. Now let's talk about topic number 2 you want to stay away from here, which is writing anything about current events or popular culture at the moment. These include things like Roe versus Wade, guns, war, inflation, etc. There's many reasons you want to stay away from popular topics, mainly because of the fact that so many people are going to go down this path. You're going to basically be in a bunch of different similar essays, which doesn't help your cause. And let me give you 2 examples that I've had to kind of make everyone understand the way this works over the last 24 years I've seen. Now, when the Lego movie came out years and years ago, it was a big craze, obviously. Everyone loved the Lego movie. And what happened was that academic year, when students were writing their essays, what I saw was almost every other engineering student decided to write about the Lego movie and talk about how they remembered how they started playing Legos when they were young, and that's why they wanted to go engineering. And the problem was it became completely saturated, with every other engineering essay talking about how they loved the Lego movie and they loved Legos because that's what brought them into engineering, or maybe didn't think of engineering and that's why they wanted to become an engineer. And that essay basically just fell flat because there were so many essays about the Lego movie. And at some point, the admissions officers probably saw Lego something in the essay and just didn't even read it, which is not helping your cause. Now that's obviously a popular culture aspect. Let me talk about a current event situation that happened. When Superstorm Sandy hit, I saw dozens and dozens and dozens of essays about Superstorm Sandy. And most of the essays, 9 out of 10 of these essays, were all basically the same. How you lost power and were gathered around a table with a candle there, and you got to talk to your mom, your dad, your siblings, you got closer together, and for that 2 or 3 week time frame, you looked at life from a simpler point of view, so you thought to yourself, you know what, I'm looking to change my life and be more positive about the things I have and be grateful. Which is an okay essay. And that's it's not a great essay, by the way, it's an okay essay, because of this reason. Remember, I see thousands of essays every year, and the 9 out of 10 were about that when they talked about Superstorm Sandy. The 1 out of 10 were completely different. The 1 out of 10 talked about losing houses, losing their homes where they lived through their entire lives, losing their livelihoods, their parents losing their businesses, losing parents, losing grandparents, them actually dying in the storm. So essentially the 1 out of 10 essays showed actual tragedy, actual things that they had to recover from. They were very difficult, life-changing events, where the 9 out of 10 essays about Superstorm Sandy talked about losing power for 2 or 3 weeks so you didn't have the internet. Like, how bad does that look? You have 1 essay out of 10 showing true tragedy and difficulty and basically being able to overcome that, versus a student who has no internet for 2 weeks. That just looks terrible. This is why current events, popular culture essays do not make any sense unless you have a very, very unique essay involved. And once again, 9 out of 10 of them were not unique at all. They were basically boring. Now let's discuss topic number 3 that you want to avoid when writing your main essay. And that's your personal life. And I'm talking about girlfriends, I'm talking about boyfriends, and everything in between when it comes to that specific aspect of your personal life. Now, in 24 years of doing this, I've read I don't know how many countless essays. Essays upon essays upon essays about everything, by the way. And every once in a while, with a 24-year span, I get the girlfriend or boyfriend essay, and they're never good essays. They're always terrible essays. And in every case, by the way, they're impossible to fix as far as adjusting it or making it more catchy, more interesting, more thought-provoking, or whatever you want to call it. They're not good essays. The admissions office does not want to hear about your love life in any fashion, by the way. So do not consider writing about your girlfriend or your boyfriend for any reason. It doesn't make any sense. Everyone talks about, the grandparent essay being bad or the family member essay being bad. Those essays are okay if you write it the right way. The reality is your girlfriend or boyfriend essay will always be terrible. The only way you're actually going to stand out here is what's going to happen is the admissions officer will probably look at it as the worst essay they read that year and probably pass it around the office to show them that, yes, I had the worst essay of all the essays this year of what everyone read. So this is definitely going to lead to admissions heartbreak, by the way. It's not going to help. And then, of course, the 4th topic we have here is politics. Now, obviously, in the world we live in, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, or whether you don't even care about politics whatsoever, it's a dividing issue here. So you want to stay away from that because of the fact that you don't know who's reading this essay. So you could be, in some cases, either alienating somebody or annoying somebody, or even worst case scenario, pissing them off or putting them completely against you, which you don't want to do if you're trying to get this person to help you get accepted to college, obviously. So when it comes to politics, this is a no-go for me on any aspect. Even if your family is in politics, even if you've been related to politics or work within the political aspects, so on and so forth, of the world of policies, in any fashion, just don't write about politics for the main essay. It just doesn't make any sense. You're basically doing a coin flip here, a 50-50 chance if somebody's going to praise you versus somebody's going to not like you at all, and it's not what you want to do when you're looking to do a main essay to try to help you get into college. And then, of course, the last topic you want to stay away from, the 5th worst topic you can talk about as far as terrible topics, is religion. Now when it comes to religion, by the way, there's over 10,000 distinct different religions in the entire world. So if you're going to focus on how amazing your religion is, or how fulfilling your religion is, or how it's the best religion out there, or whatever aspect you want to take as far as religion aspect being in your livelihood and everything else, you're going to alienate certain people. You're going to basically divide again, which you don't want to do in the same way you're doing with politics, which basically means, in the way I look at it when it comes to writing different essays, especially about religion, you want to look at it in the same way as church and state. You want to have them separated. So college essays should not deal with religion. Now, I am okay in some cases, depending on the school, if you're going to write their supplemental essay about certain aspects of religion, that is okay. For the supplemental essay, by the way, only. You do not want to write about religion in any format if you're looking to do your main essay, because once again, you don't know who your reader is. And once again, there are over 10,000 different religions out there. So even if you're a part of a sect of the religion that that person is with that is reading your essay, the reality is there might be aspects within your essay they don't agree with you on the religious side, which you don't want to turn your main essay, by the way, into a debate. This is not what you want to do. If you want to do this in English 101 when you're a freshman or when you're a sophomore in college, perfectly fine. You can do all that stuff you want to. You can write about all the topics I talked about here that you shouldn't write in the main essay. You can do that for your English class or your history class or whatever class you're writing a paper for once you get into the college. Before that, do not choose these topics. They are not going to help your cause. In many cases, they're going to make it very difficult. In some cases, very likely, the admissions officer, good, bad, or indifferent, is not going to be on your side here, which you do not want to do. Now, if you have any questions or any concerns or wondering, what we should do or shouldn't do, if you want, leave me comments or questions down below. I will answer all your comments and questions, by the way. You guys leave it down below in the comment section. As well as if you do enjoy today's video, please leave us a like. It does help the channel. As well as on the screen is my contact information. If you need help, I do sit down with families on a one-on-one basis through Zoom. You can either text me or email me. By the way, those are the two fastest ways to get a hold of me if you need help with the admissions or the financial aid process. And all that being said, thank you for watching today's video. Once again, my name is Ed from Principia Prep.